they had to take off. They were true traditional kind of people, so they had their own limitations while uh, executing whatever they were doing. So, with that understanding, a basic just let's hit the questions. Which of the following best states the central idea of the passage? Let's go to the options one by one and see. Option A, the establishment of literary salons was a response to the reformers' demand for social rights. Absolutely not wrong. Option B, literary salons were originally intended to be a meeting ground for intellectuals of both sexes, but eventually became social gathering for with little educational value. Little educational value? Absolutely not. Little educational value. The word little says no educational value, while in the passage we find that erudition, informal university, exchanged ideas with educated people, received and grave criticism. This is in the first para itself, so obviously not the case. Option C, in France and as in England. This is the biggest catch. The general prejudice against higher education for women limited women's function in literature to a primarily social one. Very catchy, but the problem starts here in England as in France. If we go back to the passage, we find most blue stockings did not wish to mirror the Salonians. They simply desired to adopt a proven formula to their own purpose. So the blue stockings had certain marked differences from the Saloniers of France. Okay, so obviously not C. Option D. In this option, we find an all here. A very big catch may not be the correct answer. Let's again read it. Check out the literary salons provided a sounding board for French and English women who called for access to all the educational institutions? Absolutely not the case. Option E. Now we have knocked off all the options one by one. Social rights out, little educational value out, France and England out, all out. Option E. For women who did not have access to higher education as men did, literary salons provided an alternate route to learning and challenge to some of the society's basic assumptions about women. Well, throughout the passage, we find general prejudices against women, erudition, literary salons, informal university, exchange of ideas with educated people, education persons received and gave criticism. Absolutely, E is the correct answer. Right? Okay, folks. So let's put it. This one is correct, and the rest all are incorrect. See, we checked in and checked out from the passage and tried to get to the final answer. Okay, the next one. Question number 14. Which of the following statements most compatible with the principles of Saloniers as described in the passage? Saloniers were discussed in the passage. That means the French women. Let's see which is the correct answer. Option A, women should aspire to be not only educated but independent as well. Not being talked about. Absolutely incorrect. So out. Let's see the next one. Uh, Option B, the duty of the educated women is to provide an active political model for less educated women, not mentioned. We do not know whether these things are there or not. We'll go by the passage. We will not apply our own understanding if we ever know. Option C, devotion to pleasure and art is justified in itself. C, we are talking about Saloniers. So the French. Now we go back to the passage and see the French salon incorporated aristocratic attitude that exalted, or rather praised courtly pleasures and emphasized artistic accomplishments. Before I go further, I'll just say this thing. To exalt is to elevate, to praise, to promote. Exalt means to be very happy, rejuvenated. Okay. Anyway, so this is the French salon. The English blue stockings originated from a more modest background, emphasized learning and work over pleasures. So we don't need this section, but anyway, miscellaneous when we are talking about devotion to pleasure. So C is the only answer here. Let's mark the other two incorrect. This is the correct answer. C. Right? Okay.